Hi, my name is Janet Kawamura, and my leadership presentation is on the great Archie Manning. According to Anderson's book, The Book of Archie Who, we learn that Archie was a great leader not only throughout his life to those around him, but also to his family. He was born on May 19th, 1949, Elijah Archibald Manning, and he was called Archie. He was born in Drew, Mississippi to Sis and Buddy Manning. He grew up there his whole life, and he was a superstar in baseball, which may surprise some of you. He did play football also and was a great football player, but baseball was his #1 love. As he got in his senior year, he was offered an NLB draft opportunity, but he had a very strong desire to get a college degree, so he turned down the MLB draft and decided to go to Ole Miss. His freshman year, he did not look like he was going to get any play time. He was actually redshirted, but in the first game, their head quarterback got hurt, and it gave him the opportunity to step up and become the starting quarterback, and he led them to many great victories. Right after his freshman year in college, he had some challenges and some setbacks in his life. His whole life he wanted praise from his father. He did everything to want to please his father, and that never came about. His father was happy with him, but in those times it wasn't common for fathers and dads to spend a lot of time with their kids and show affection and say I love you and stuff like that. During his summer break after his freshman year, he came home and his father had committed suicide, and Archie was the one that found his father, and this was a very traumatic experience for him. His family worried about him, his coaches worried about him, his fellow teammates worried about him, whether he would be able to get through this challenge or not. He had to have a hard decision to face, whether to stay home and provide for his mother or to be able to separate his personal life from football and return to Ole Miss. And that's exactly what he did. And this is one of the attributes that many of his coaches said that he had, is the ability to take his personal life and set it aside for the game, and then after the game was over also be able to go back and live his personal life 100%. Which brings us to his family. He married his college sweetheart Olivia, and they had 3 beautiful sons, and Archie devoted his whole life to his children. He wanted to give them everything that he didn't get from his father: the time, spending with them, the love, the support, showing them that he truly cared. By this time he was drafted in the NFL, but when he came home it was 100% family time, and he devoted to his boys. Many people thought he pushed his sons to want to play football, but he said they grew up playing football in the front yard, and that was their family pastime, and they just all naturally loved it. Moves us into some of the leadership values he has. Archie models many of the leadership values that we have learned about this year. The first one, modeling the way. He was able to set a great example everywhere he went. He didn't just talk the talk, he actually walked the walk. He was able to step up and perform when he needed to. He was able to take charge when he needed to. He truly inspired others to want to be better by the way they watched him and through his example. He inspired a shared vision. He was able to instill his vision of success through teammates as he played in college and led them to some great victories. And he was also able to inspire that vision as he started his NFL career. His NFL career, while it seems like it wasn't that successful, he didn't have any major wins, any Super Bowl rings, any great awards, but he did inspire many people to go on and to fight and have a determination and a drive to be the best. He challenged the process. He always was looking for avenues to make everyone better, including his kids. He would spend time with them and finding ways to get things to be easier and better, and wasn't afraid to stand up if he thought something was wrong and challenge it to see if it could be done easier. He's able to enable others to act. a great inspiration is his own family, his own kids. He encouraged them, and through their encouragement, they were able to act and follow their dreams. And that brings me to encourage the heart, which is the last one, which I think is his strongest value as a leader. And he was able to encourage his children and to follow their dreams no matter what they were. One of the great stories I'll tell you about here in a second was first his son Cooper Manning. We'll go to Cooper here. Cooper married Ellen Manning, but Cooper was a great high school quarterback, following right along in his dad's footsteps. They had big dreams of his senior year, having him and Peyton play together, and they did. And then Cooper decided to go on to college, and he signed and got a scholarship from Ole Miss to follow in his father's footsteps to go to Ole Miss. And he was a freshman, and he was just going to wait a couple years, and his brother Peyton was going to join him there, and they were going to leave a big football legacy there. But during his freshman year, he was having some issues with his shoulder, and his dad took him in to be checked out, and he found out he had spinal stenosis, which was a life-threatening thing if he kept playing football. So basically he had to end his football career, and that was big for him because this is something that he had worked for his whole life to want to go to college. But his dad was able to encourage him and guide him and encourage his heart that no matter what he did in life, he would be successful. And he's now a successful partner with Howard Will, an energy broker. Then we go on to Peyton, and when his brother got hurt, Peyton Manning promised his brother that he would continue to play football through him and that he would be the best he can be. And his senior year in high school, he had over 100 offers of different colleges to go to. And this was a hard decision for him because all of Mississippi was wanting Peyton Manning to go to Ole Miss and follow in his dad and brother's footsteps. And this is another great time when Archie had to encourage the heart, because Peyton Manning wanted to go to Tennessee, which is one of the big rivals of Ole Miss, and he took a lot of flack for it, but he did sign with Tennessee and went to Tennessee, and his dad took the brunt of that for him and was very much criticized in his own hometown, in his own home state, that he didn't go to Ole Miss. But his dad told him, make the decision and never look back. I'm here to support you. And he totally encouraged him. And he later said that that was the best decision Peyton ever made, was to go to Tennessee. He's now currently married to Ashley Manning, and he's a quarterback for the Denver Broncos, and they have 2 kids. Then we have their younger brother, Eli Manning, who also grew up a few years younger than his other brothers, but he too was a great high school football player, and he came back to the family tradition and went to Ole Miss. And actually, he broke every one of his dad's standing records while he was at Ole Miss, and so he's the new Manning there at Ole Miss, and he is currently the quarterback of the New York Giants. So, great movie. Some of the references I used was the Anderson book I mentioned earlier, the book of Manning, the Manning, Archie Who, which really tells what a great father he was, and also some other articles that I used from the Denver Post and the High Plains Midwest Ag Journal. And also, if you have a chance, it's absolutely a great motion picture. It was put out by ESPN in 2003. It's called The Book of Manning. I would encourage you to watch that. So that is my story about Archie Manning. He's no longer Archie Who in my eyes. He is a true leader. Not only was he able to leave a legacy through his own children, but the legacy that their whole family name is leaving is absolutely changing millions of people's lives and giving lots of people hope and inspiration as they watch them. Thank you.